Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to the channel. I am here again with another video. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and share it with your friends and family. So to jump right into this video. Um, this video was inspired by a conversation that I had with a friend of mine yesterday, and we were discussing dating and whether or not first dates should be expensive and extravagant. And so I will just give you guys a little insight on how the conversation went between this friend and myself, and give you, so first I'll start off by giving my take on it. It's gonna seem a little bit weird, when I say this, because a lot of people are gonna be gasping like, oh, what? Like, especially the women, like, y'all don't wanna be looking at me sideways, because what do you mean you don't think that the first date should be an expensive date, or should be like a nice fancy date, having dinner, or take me somewhere really, really nice? And she already gave away my view on that. And again, this is specifically for the first date. First date, okay? So don't let that confuse you and think that, okay, I'm against just expensive dates and things of that sort. So the reason why I feel that the first date should not be one that is expensive and extravagant is because it is an introduction. Like, you're just introducing me to you as a person, and I'm introducing you to me as a person. I don't need you to spend, take me to a 4 or 5 star restaurant, make me all, so we get all dressed up, and then we're seen out together in a nice sophisticated scenery, and the whole nine. Like, that's a lot. First of all, let me start by saying that I'm not here to take advantage of no man. I don't care what's in your pockets. I care what's up here. And I care that you know how to put this to work so that it can make you money, so that you have a good financial understanding of like how to budget and how to, keep money in your pockets, not just if you're able to make money, but keep money. So I don't want you guys to get confused and think that I don't care whether a man is broke or not. Like, I absolutely do care that, you're financially stable. But you being financially stable, I'm not gonna learn that and you taking me to a 4 and 5 star restaurant, because most people, they spend the money a lot quicker than they actually make it. The second that direct deposit hit, the money's gone within the next couple of days, and they're struggling, scratching and clawing to make it through the next week or two. So that's not the point of this conversation, but I just wanted to point that out, that it's not that, like, I don't care about a man's financial well-being. It's just, I'm not here to take advantage of nobody. Like, I'm not the only woman in this world, in this planet, that this man has tried to talk to or will try to talk to. So now, if he's taking me out on a fancy, extravagant date, taking me out to a 4 or 5 star restaurant and the whole nine, that means that he now has to do that for every other woman, or he's done that for so many other women in the past, and they didn't work out. Clearly, if he's trying to talk to me, and it might not work out with me. So I don't want to be over here like breaking a man's back just because you want to get to know who I am. Most times on the first date is when you realize that you guys are not compatible. Most times on the first date is when you realize, I don't really feel a connection here. You know what? We have opposing views, and, I really just don't see this thing working. And the feeling is mutual. So now, what was all of that for? All of that glitz and glam and everything. And then I say this because the women, most times, yes, the man is the one picking up the tab, right? So that's like, okay, the big part of it, okay? He's taking a big hit because he's picking up the check. But, and it's not that the women, I already hear some of the women in the back, oh, well, I could pay the check, I can handle the check. It's not about that, but most times he's the one that's covering the bill. But you have something to lose as well when you go out on these expensive, luxurious dates, because you have to make sure you find something nice to wear, make sure your hair is done right, make sure you get all dressed up, and, if you're wearing makeup, wear makeup, if you need a new outfit, do that. Make sure you put on your nice perfume, you driving, if he's not picking you up, like if you guys didn't agree on that, you drive into the place, your time and energy, you gotta make arrangements for childcare if you have a child, you gotta, like, it's a lot of brain work also, like, okay, is this too much? Oh, okay, what do I wear for this? Like, there's a lot more that goes into an extravagant or luxurious or fancy expensive date than we give credit to. Like, yes, granted, there are a lot of women out here who now are just like taking it like it's a game. You know, they just want to like get free food and be able to take pictures and, you know, have a story to run and tell their friends and family, like when the date is over. Like, yeah, I met this guy and blah, 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 and this and the third. I'm not here I'm not a journalist. I'm not coming over here to do news on you. Like, I really genuinely want to know about you, and I want you to know about me. And I'm not going to learn all of it on the first date. That is why I don't want you going above and beyond. And that doesn't mean that you can't be thoughtful, though. So let's not get that confused. That does not mean that, you know, just treat it so casually that it's just like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you know, I'm just going to, you know, meet up with this girl, blah, 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 blah. So I prefer the first dates, the type of first dates where we go to somewhere simple, like either a regular diner for lunch, you know, or we go to some type of cafe, grab some coffee. I personally don't drink coffee, but it's just about the scenery, you know, like I hate coffee, but I'll go to a coffee shop just to be able to have a conversation with somebody. Maybe I'll order tea, or I'll order a water or a biscuit or something like that. So it's not about what I'm looking to get out of it, like for the pleasure of it. Like, I'm not out here out for your pockets. You know, I'm not out looking for, you know, you to spend money on me on this and that and try to put on this facade and try to have all this pressure on you to show me try and show me the best version of yourself that is not going to be consistent with who I'm going to see on a regular basis. So that's why the first date for me, I feel like, is to set the tone. It's to be able to do an introduction. I'm introducing you to the first layer of who I am. Because most times when you go on first dates with people, and, you know, especially if it's a fancy one, people are trying to put their best foot forward, as you should, right? You know, but then with all of that pressure, sometimes people overcompensate and end up giving a version of themselves that's not realistic, a version of themselves, you know, that is not their norm. So now I get all excited on the first date because, oh, wow, he sold this, he sold that. And he's thinking in his mind, wow, she sold this and she's that. But then that's not who I am for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And it's not that I put up a facade or that he puts up a facade. It's just, again, the pressure of having to be your best self and having to try to sell yourself and market yourself on the first date. That is very toxic. And that's how a lot of people get people's representative as opposed to their true self. That's how you get a person's masked face as opposed to who they really are. So now if I take some of the pressure off, where you're not having to spend all of this money, we're not having to get so dressed up and get makeup done and have to meet here and, you know, make reservations for that and this, that, and the third. Now you can be free to be your true authentic self. You know, like, it's just, and again, it's not that this method is like a perfect way to see a person's true self, because again, people will still try to impress. People will still try to give you a version of themselves that they feel is more presentable, right? And it might alter who they usually are on a regular basis. But again, that's why I don't need you to do all of that in order for me to see who you are. Because those fancy, nice, expensive dates, they will come. If we make it, if you stick around long enough, if I stick around long enough, if you play your cards right, they will come eventually. So I don't need you to throw all your eggs in one basket, because here's another thing to think about, fellas and ladies. So now you take this woman to an expensive first date. You just set the bar super, super high. And it's not even, and it don't have nothing to do with your character. It's all about your pockets and how much you can spend and how much you're willing to spend on this woman. So what are you going to do on the second date? How are you going to top that? Take her to another fancy restaurant? And another fancy restaurant after that, and another fancy restaurant, and then take her to this super fancy stuff. And then you're realizing that it's like, yeah, you want to keep seeing this person, but every time you see them, it comes with a cost, a high cost. So be very, very careful. And I think that we should start to normalize conversations like this, because these are things that are playing in our minds, whether the man or the woman, but we just don't know how to properly articulate it. And we're afraid of being judged, and we're afraid of people, you know, especially the guys, you're afraid of, if you were to say something like this, especially if you don't say it in the right way, that a woman will think that you're just cheap, or you're broke, or you just don't value women, or you just whatever. But if we start to have these types of conversations and start to address them properly, and it's, you know, you laying the foundation down, it'll be a lot better. We'll have a lot more peace. You just see this girl, you like her at this, you know, you're walking down the street or at this meeting or at this whatever, you want to get to know her. And I'm not saying that I'm against, you know, like going, if that's your desire, you want to, you know, go ahead and treat her nice to a nice dinner, that's fine. I'm not against that, but I'm just saying my preference. I prefer when I first meet a guy, when he wants to take me out for the first time, I just want to get introduced to you. You. Not your pockets, not your paycheck, not how much you can spend and how much you could do. I want to get introduced to you. Then after that first date, maybe date number 2, you know what? You want to treat me to something nice. You know what? You want to make sure that because the first date went so well that you're like, okay, that was cool. I like that. I liked her. I liked him. You know, now I feel like it's worth me putting a little effort into for date number 2, date number 3, date number 4, 5, so forth and so on. Because we've proved that we can make it past the preliminary phase. So I'll probably make a part 2 of this because I have a lot more to say, but I don't want to make this video too lengthy. I just wanted to share you guys the conversation that took place between my friend and I yesterday and how it impacted me and impacted her as well. And I guess also in part 2, I'll kind of share with you guys her viewpoints and then how, whether it changed at the end of the conversation or not. And so yeah, so let me know what you guys think and if this was enlightening to you in any way. Yeah, comment, let me know how you guys feel about it. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.